guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nikita, and I'm currently on a struggle journey to gain control of my finances, work to get out of debt, and at some point hopefully find financial freedom. So if that is something that you are interested in following along with, please go ahead and continue watching, subscribe if you choose to, and go ahead and give this video a like if I seem to come off entertaining, or if you enjoy the content. So this is going to be a mid pay period check-in. So I get paid bi-weekly, and what I have found useful, or what I have learned through watching others, is doing kind of a mid-week or once a week check-in to kind of see where you are financially is a good idea. Now, in this video, I'm going to try and be as fully transparent as possible. I am not a financial guru. I know how to budget. I know what is supposed to be done when you budget. However, I have old habits that I'm trying to get rid of. So I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. I don't claim to be someone that you should follow my methods because they're unorthodox. They are not perfect. I'm just sharing with you guys my struggles. That way, if you're struggling like me, you don't feel alone, because I have watched several others, and it helps me either find methods that will work for me, or it has helped me to feel not so alone in this struggle journey. So with that said, what I'd like to do is do a check-in to my cash wallet. I am fairly new to actually following the cash envelope method. I've known about it for years. I'm over 40, so I've known about it. My mother has taught me about it. I know Dave Ramsey has talked about it. Most recently, the Budget Mom and Jasmine over at Baddies and Budgets. So I've watched all of their videos, or most of their videos. I followed along with their method, and now I'm actually attempting to do this method. Typically, I am a card swiper, so debit card, credit card, gift card. I'm a card swiper. So trying to deviate from what is normal to me and leverage cash has been hard to do. I'm doing it, but it's hard to do. So when I did my budgeting video, I stuffed gas, groceries, pet care, kids activities, and then I came back and added some money for household. I did give my fiance money, or I transferred money to my fiance. This was a transfer. This was not cash. And then I added money to personal. So and then I have to give this a update. So again, I want my channel to be real and raw, and it's not always gonna be like perfect by the book or whatever plan I set. So if you've been here before and you've seen my previous budgeting videos, you know that I borrow from future paychecks to be able to pay or feed my family. Let's just say that. And I was trying my best to not have to borrow any money from my future paycheck. And so I did well. I stuffed my envelopes without having to borrow. I spent the money without having to borrow. And then I realized I'm broke. I have spent the money. I've done the things that I was supposed to do. And technically I overspent in my grocery category. And I think that's kind of where I messed myself up. But anywho, I worked with what I had. to the point where I could no longer work with what I had. So I did borrow $200 from my future paycheck. So technically the paycheck that I will receive on March the 1st, I borrowed $200. And I was doing really well with not actually spending the majority of the money. However, I had to go to the grocery store. And I know most of us, outside of our household bills, food is really where we spend the most. I know for my family, that's where we spend the most. Food and gas. That's where most of our money typically goes. So I was doing really well. I had a plan. I had a grocery list. And then I get to the store and that list just poof goes out the window. That's another reason why I'm kind of in this position is I never really stick to a grocery budget. I go to the store when I'm hungry. You know, you're not supposed to do that. I see things on sale or I see new things. I'm like, ooh, I want to try that. Or, you know, if I'm hungry, it's like, ooh, I want to have this for dinner, or I want to try this for breakfast, or whatever. No matter how well I set myself up for success, something in me just says, nope, forget that. We're going to do this instead. And so I think that's the biggest struggle that I have. Not with budgeting, because, okay, you know, you set the plan. Sticking to the plan is the hardest part. So, and just so you know, this video will likely be a really chatty video where I'm kind of letting you guys into my world, telling you more about myself, as I kind of get over those new YouTuber jitters, because I'm sure you tell in my earlier videos, I sound nervous. I sound not as confident. I'm still not confident, but a lot of you all have helped me kind of come out of my shell. I am an introvert, but I don't mind. You know, I'm learning to talk to myself as I'm chatting with you guys. So again, I borrowed $200. I've also tried my best to track my expenses, and this method, it's fine for, you know, what it is, but it's still not perfect. So I'm still kind of struggling to figure out what resources I want to leverage to track. I still like the Budget Mom worksheet. It's fine for now. I'm not going to go out and like create my own, even though I tried, just to be able to have more lines to fill out my bills versus, you know, carrying over into the envelopes. Like I would really like to just use this as it is. It's just I can't. And so anyways, I have not stuck to the plan. I have not stuck to my budget. I've gone over my budget. And where I am now is I'm struggling to decide, do I borrow again for other expenses that I know are coming up, such as gas? I mean, I'm 1 week in, and yes, my teenagers are putting gas in the car. They're learning that gas is expensive and it doesn't go very far, because they do go places, they do things, and the gas doesn't last. So for me, I'm putting gas in for whenever I need to travel somewhere for like sports activities. But I also want to make sure that they have what they need to get to work. So anyways, just wanted to throw that out there. I'm being honest with you all. I'm not perfect. I'm trying to, you know, record how it happens real and raw and in real life. So anyways, let's get to my envelope. So most of these are empty. There's like nothing. This is a cash wallet that I had when I attempted to do this a couple years ago. So I set these up before and attempted to use them, and it just didn't work out. So for miscellaneous, originally this was going to be my personal folder. Oh, I've got 20, 35, 45 cents. I'm gonna put that in my envelope to save. I am doing savings challenges. If you are new here, I am doing savings challenges to try and pay down debt. That was another thing. You know, I've put a poll out there to ask you guys what I should do. And I appreciate those who, you know, responded. I'm still kind of struggling with making a decision on what to do. And speaking with my mom, you know, she suggested that I continue to save the money and kind of use it as an emergency fund if something were to come up that I just, you know, truly had no money to handle. I do like that because I don't have an emergency fund, none whatsoever. I do have a savings account that I have through my work, but that, again, that's something that I pulled from too. I had to get my oil changed. I was putting it off, and I didn't want to damage my one and only vehicle, so I went ahead and pulled it out to get my oil changed. It's what it's there for, technically. And I, like I said, I'd been putting it off for quite a while, so it really needed to be done before it started causing any damage. So I did that. Okay, so miscellaneous. We started out with $10. I clearly have more than $10 here. I did anything that was carried over from any money that I spent that I either knew I spent over or, you know, leftover change. I just put it in the miscellaneous folder because I knew I had gone over. Like the first time I went to the grocery store, I knew I had $75 to spend. I spent way more than that. I haven't, you know, I take my calculator with me. I use my phone. I look at the prices. You know, it just creeps up. I don't know what happened. It just crept up and I went over. And instead of putting things back or, you know, holding up the line, deciding on what to keep and what to not, I just went ahead and took the cash that was in my envelopes. I did spend cash, so I took the cash that was in whatever envelopes I had to cover whatever the bill was. And then I came up with a plan to fulfill whatever else needed to be done, which was usually gas and pet care. So what I have here is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, technically, this is not for my personal money. I would probably say this is carryover additional grocery money. What I may do is divide it in half because I do have, I think I have like $19 left in my spending account. And I was just going to save that for, put it in the gas tank. What I may do is take the 10 and put that with that. I may take 11, make it an even $30, put that in the gas tank for this weekend, and then come Sunday, one of my teenagers will put gas in the car to get themselves to work for the rest of the week. So I think that's what I may do, but as of right now, we've got, again, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's $15 there in miscellaneous. Gas gone, was gone the first day. In my kid activities, again, I use this for sports fees, so entry fees to my son's basketball games, which is like $8. And so we funded 25. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have $9 left, and technically, since it's $8, I have an extra $1 that I can put in the pile that's not technically allocated for anything. So I have my $8 for this coming weekend for the games, and this is the one envelope that hasn't gone over or under. I actually did a good job by adding an additional 5 because we had 2 games last weekend, and I would not have had enough money to carry me to this weekend, which is in the middle of my pay period. So when I get paid next weekend, we have a game that Saturday, and we may be joining in a baseball tournament, so I'll have to adjust that on my March budget, which I think I pre-recorded like my budget plan for March that I think is set to be put out on Monday. Okay, constant interruption, but yeah. So we'll have the kid activities are good, and then the kids can put gas in the car whatever I was saying before I was interrupted. So there's nothing in household, nothing in groceries, and there's literally nothing in the rest of these envelopes. So again, we've got for I mean, technically this is not rollover because we're not at my new pay period. But this is just going to be kind of like reallocation of some funds. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I think I'm going to take $11, put it with the 19 that I have in my spending account, and that will be the gas to care for this weekend. And then well, basically Saturday, because it's Friday. This will cover Saturday, and Sunday the teenagers will put gas in the car. So we've got $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 to potentially put somewhere. As far as bills that have been processed, everything that you see highlighted has been processed. My personal loan, my mortgage. I did put a portion to my T-Mobile account. I told you guys I was going to do that, and I did. I easily could have just said, I'll just push that bill to the next paycheck. And again, continue the vicious cycle. I made my car payment. I paid my trash bill, which I budgeted for $121.45. It actually had a processing fee, so it ended up being $124.40. I don't have to. I do need to account for that in my budget because whenever I pay it, there's going to be that processing fee because it's not set to auto draft. I may look at potentially saying it's auto draft, but as of right now, I'll just add a few dollars to my budget to care for this fee. Again, I told you that the water, whatever I was going to set aside for water, what I was going to set aside for trash, I did not. I'm actually, instead of pushing that to my next paycheck, I'm going to push that to my bonus check, which I do know what my bonus is going to be. It's not anywhere near what I expected it to be or what I wanted it to be, and that's a whole other conversation, but that's where that is. My promise pay, that was also over. I budgeted $74.39 because there was a processing fee or taxes or whatever. It ended up being $76.89. I canceled Disney Plus. I canceled Canva. One of my credit cards was $1 less than I anticipated. PixArt, which is what I use for my my thumbnails, it came in at $4.77 instead of $4.50, probably due to taxes. So I'll adjust my budget for that. And then the rest of these have not processed. My LG&E or my gas and electric did process. So I'm just waiting for the rest of these to process, and they should be processing within the next several days to end us with the month. So that's where we are for so far this pay period. I still need to decide what to do with this. I still need to decide if I'm going to take some of my savings challenge money and apply it to one of my debts to kind of start that debt snowball. I'm almost done with the change savings challenge. That would be the first one that would potentially be done. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I just need to come up with $12 in change. I mean, it doesn't have to be in change, but $12 to finish this. I really want to finish something to feel accomplished. Not because I'm feeling pressure for those of you who are, you have your finances under control and are, able to do multiple savings challenges. This is just something for myself. This is a goal for myself to achieve. I'm not really trying to achieve, these. I would love to finish out these larger ones, but I know that I have things I need to figure out on, where I'm going to in order to prevent myself from having to borrow. Now, I will say, because I've borrowed from my March paycheck, I did look ahead at the expenses that will be coming out of my March 1st paycheck, and there may be a need to borrow again. I'm trying not to. I may leverage the savings challenge money to prevent me from doing that. I'm not sure. I do know that what I'd like to do is, because I had mentioned something about doing like, meal preps, or not meal preps, meal plans. And so what I need to do is I just need to take an inventory of what I have, see all the things that I have, what I can make with what I have, and go from there. I do know from a meat perspective, because we are, pretty heavy meat eaters in our family, there's not a lot. I have some things in my deep freeze. There's not a lot. So I think what I'll start with is what I have there, make meals according to that, and see how far it'll get me. If it gets me through to my next pay period, then I shouldn't have to borrow anything. If not, we might be doing Dave Ramsey beans and rice and beans. I don't know. Either way, my family will be fed and we'll survive. So I appreciate you for joining me today. Again, if you like this chaos video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're not currently subscribed and you want to subscribe and be notified anytime I post, and you want to follow along, please do so. I appreciate you all. Thanks.